Senator Tom Cotton delivered a scathing critique of President Joe Biden's foreign policy, particularly targeting the withdrawal from Afghanistan and its ripple effects on America's global position. Cotton called Biden's assertion that America is stronger today than 4 years ago a gross misrepresentation, arguing, Uncle Sam has had a kick-me sign on his back for the last 4 years because of Joe Biden's weakness.
Thank you, sir, for being here as we continue to watch the president exit there. There were some awkward applauses at the beginning of the speech as well, loud and mighty to the point where I remember the Secretary of State almost had to say, okay. We're told that there was a selected number of press in the room. It was invitation only, and possibly officials from the State Department were told. But on Afghanistan, Senator, he said, I grieve those brave service members whose lives were lost during the withdrawal. He went on to say, I can also report to the American people I'm the first president in decades who's not leaving a war in Afghanistan to his successor. Having interviewed so many of the Gold Star families, I wonder what they are thinking today.
Well, Sandro, what they're probably thinking is that Joe Biden's incompetence contributed to the deaths of their loved ones. It's one thing to say that we needed to end the war in Afghanistan, but Joe Biden was so incompetent and reckless in the way he ended it, it resulted in the deaths of those 13 brave Americans. And it also emboldened our adversaries. Vladimir Putin began marshaling his troops on Ukraine's border just a few weeks later. President Biden had the gall to go out and say that America is stronger today than it was 4 years ago. I beg to differ. Uncle Sam has had a kick-me sign on his back for the last 4 years because of Joe Biden's weakness. You look around the world, and again, he tempted Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine, and he's pussyfooted around for 3 years, not providing Ukraine with the weapons they need to win that war. In the Middle East, he tried to take credit for certain actions that Benjamin Netanyahu has taken, when in reality, at every turn, he tried to restrain Israel. The reason why Iran is on the back foot in the Middle East right now is because Benjamin Netanyahu didn't listen to Joe Biden. Our military is in very bad shape. The Secretary of Defense has even admitted recently that the military needs tens of billions of dollars beyond what Joe Biden has provided it. Why didn't Joe Biden provide the funding for it? So everywhere you turn, America is weaker today than we were 4 years ago. Even with the so-called hostage deal that he's trying to conclude his presidency on, the only reason that might happen is Donald Trump is threatening Hamas and Iran with hell to pay if they don't release American citizens being held hostage.
Cotton, speaking in a televised interview, attributed the deaths of 13 U.S. service members during the chaotic Afghanistan withdrawal to Biden's incompetence and recklessness. He argued the disorderly exit emboldened adversaries, citing Vladimir Putin's troop mobilizations near Ukraine soon afterward. You look around the world. Biden tempted Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine, Cotton said, adding that the administration's delays in arming Ukraine further compounded the crisis. The senator also criticized Biden's approach to the Middle East, accusing him of undermining Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu while Iran gained ground. The reason why Iran is on the back foot in the Middle East right now is because Benjamin Netanyahu didn't listen to Joe Biden, Cotton asserted. On military readiness, Cotton highlighted the Secretary of Defense's recent admission of funding shortfalls, questioning Biden's commitment to strengthening the armed forces. Why didn't Joe Biden provide the funding for it, he asked, suggesting a broader neglect of America's defense capabilities. Cotton's pointed remarks align with a conservative narrative that Biden's policies have weakened U.S. influence and emboldened adversaries. He concluded by contrasting Biden's perceived failures with the prior administration, referencing the potential of Donald Trump's pressure on Hamas and Iran to secure the release of American hostages. These critiques resonate with broader concerns about the administration's foreign policy strategy and its implications for national security.